Hello, I'm Jim Everett and I'm a digital photographer. I've enjoyed photography since I was 10, but I've never really thought of myself as an artist until a few years back when I started exhibiting and then selling my work at art fairs and my online gallery. Then a couple of years back, I got invited to participate in a 4-month exhibition at LAX put on by the city of Los Angeles called Distinctive Artists of Southern California. Since then, I've seen my photography in a different light, and now I explore ways to use it more creatively as a form of expression. So in this and future episodes, I want to share how I use digital photography as a creative and expressive medium. Being able to access and review all your images in a visible library like this, and then work with them quickly and non-destructively, is an enormous help to the creative process. And the application that I will be using in these episodes is Aperture from Apple. I like how Aperture allows me to quickly review and compare hundreds of images, select a few I want to work with, and then use all the tools in one place to adjust, experiment, and bring that image to the final look that resonates with me. Rather than looking at more detailed how-tos in these episodes, because there's plenty of stuff around on how-to with books and videos and online material and classes, I would rather focus more personally on the why, the what, the where and the when, things that I do in Aperture and the reasons that I do them. I hope you enjoy the journey, and in future episodes I will delve more deeply into what makes a photograph an artistic expression for me. In this first episode, I want to look at how I work, basically in 3 stages: capture, shape, and show. Let's begin at the first stage, capture. That is the art that is made at the time of taking the picture. You see something that is so beautiful or dramatic, or that makes an emotive statement. All you need to do is capture it from the right angle and the art is instantly there in the camera. This can happen with landscapes, flowers that are beautifully lit, or something evocative or intriguing. It could be dramatic or it can be intimate. The point is, the moment you take the image, you know you have something that is an artistic expression. Other images you will need to shape at your computer with adjustment and enhancement. This is the second stage, where you need to bring up what you want the picture to say, or the experience you had when you were taking the picture. You may need to crop it, bring out details hidden in the shadows, tone down bright areas and recover detail, maybe add a vignette and remove unwanted elements, or give the image a special look. This is where the artistry comes in. I'm not talking about just doing a quick oversaturation to create an oh wow look to impress people who are unfamiliar with digital enhancement. This shot is an ordinary landscape that has just been made totally unrealistic. It just looks fake, but believe me, there are people who think that this is how the scene really looked. Some people feel very strongly that you should never enhance a photograph, and it should be printed exactly as it comes from the camera. But the camera does not see the same way your eyes do. Your eyes constantly adjust for bright and dark areas. In a landscape image straight from the camera, the sky often looks too light, unless of course you use a polarizing filter. And the shadows may have extra details that you want to bring out. You may want to boost the saturation a little to lift the picture and give it some depth. In future episodes, I'll show how I use Aperture to draw out the feeling and essence surrounding the subject that I felt at the time. Sometimes I will visit a spot or location where the subject and the lighting just beg to be photographed. There's not just one great shot, but many photographic opportunities. In these situations, I'll typically shoot a range of images, often with different angles and formats and exposures. I call this harvesting. And while I try to make each picture as good as I can, I also know that later I will choose the best from the range I captured. So it just lets you get excited and take lots of pictures. In these cases, what is in the camera is just raw material. The real art happens on my Mac with Aperture. When there is strong contrast in the lighting, I frequently use a 3-shot bracketed exposure. Then choose the best one later. And shooting in RAW gives much wider tonal range to work with. You have more detail in the shadows that you can bring out, as well as highlights to recover, which Aperture does beautifully. The third and final stage I mentioned is when, where and how you show your art. Is it a standalone piece or part of a series or collection? And how will you show it? Print, photo book, online or a slideshow? In a future episode, I will explore how Aperture prepares your image for this stage. So I hope this introduction has created enough interest with you to subscribe to this podcast series and watch future episodes where I dive into more detail with individual images. And there I will share my thinking behind particular photographs and the process for creating the finished work. I would like to explore with you what defines art in photography and how that is different from documentary images. We'll look at unusual subjects and special treatment you can give them in Aperture. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next episode.